Why did soldiers operating the most terrifying machine gun of the Pacific War sometimes break down mentally after seeing the destruction their weapon caused? How did a lightweight infantry gun become the undisputed backbone of an entire squad? And why did even elite Allied troops dread its distinct, terrifying sound? You're going to hear all that and more through the intense story of the infamous Japanese Type 99 light machine gun. Let's begin. As the nature of warfare drastically changed in the early decades of the 20th century and the Imperial Japanese Army shifted toward rapid island defense and mobile jungle tactics, they needed something far lighter and more maneuverable to support fast advancements. Unlike older, cumbersome water-cooled machine guns mounted on heavy sleds, Japanese engineers sought a modern air-cooled weapon. In the 1930s, they introduced the Type 11 and later the Type 96. However, these earlier designs suffered from severe jams and relied on underpowered 6.5mm ammunition, which lacked stopping power against heavily fortified positions or charging enemy troops. By 1939, engineers were given a major challenge: design a rugged, reliable, and hard-hitting machine gun that chambered the newly adopted powerful 7.7 by 58mm rimless cartridge, while remaining light enough for a single soldier to carry through dense rainforests. To everyone's surprise, they created what would become one of the most effective and recognizable light machine guns of the Pacific Theater, the Type 99. Featuring a quick-change barrel system, an op-top-mounted curved box magazine, a folding bipod, and even a built-in monopod at the stock for added stability, the Type 99 was a massive leap forward. Firing around 800 rounds per minute, it possessed a rate of fire significantly higher than standard American bars or British Bren guns. Despite its deadliness, its top-mounted 30-round magazine was its primary drawback, requiring constant reloads during sustained firefights. Nevertheless, tens of thousands of Type 99s were produced, quickly becoming Japan's primary tool for holding fortified ridgelines and jungle bunkers. While propaganda films showed to newly drafted Allied recruits attempted to downplay Japanese weaponry as inferior copies, battle-hardened Marines who faced it on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, and Peleliu knew better. They gave the weapon a terrifying respect, recognizing the distinct high-pitched chatter of its fire across the jungle canopy. Now, let's move on to the crew and squad tactics. The Type 99 was the absolute center of the Japanese infantry squad's fire tower. A standard rifle squad was organized around the operation, protection, and continuous firing of this single weapon. The squad was divided into a rifle section and a machine gun section. The primary gunner operated the Type 99, positioned at the heart of the squad's formation. He carried the weapon alongside a sidearm for close-quarters defense. Assisting him was the assistant gunner, who carried additional top-mounted magazines, spare barrels, and a toolkit for clearing jams. His job was to feed magazines into the top receiver, swap out glowing hot barrels during prolonged engagements, and immediately take over firing if the primary gunner was killed. An ammunition carrier followed closely behind, lugging wooden crates of 7.7mm ammunition belts and extra preloaded magazines. The rest of the squad, armed with Type 99 bolt-action rifles, acted primarily to protect the machine gun team, scout enemy positions, and execute flank attacks while the Type 99 suppressed the enemy. The squad leader directed the gunner to key targets, using the machine gun to pin down defenders so riflemen could close in with bayonets. The Type 99 was extremely versatile. It could be fired from its bipod in prone defensive positions, mounted on specialized anti-aircraft tripods to target low-flying Allied strafers, or even fired from the hip during aggressive assault charges. To maintain continuous fire, crews were trained in disciplined trigger control, firing in short, controlled bursts of 3 to 5 rounds. Because continuous firing would overheat the barrel after a few hundred rounds, the assistant gunner relied on a quick release lever to swap the hot barrel for a cold one in under 10 seconds, a window of opportunity Allied troops were trained to exploit by rushing the bunker. Serving as part of a Type 99 crew was a dangerous double-edged sword. While the weapon inflicted horrific casualties on attacking forces, its prominent top-mounted magazine and distinct firing sound made it the ultimate high-priority target. The moment a Type 99 opened fire, Allied mortar teams, flamethrower squads, and snipers immediately concentrated all their fire on the gun pit. Because holding a defensive ridge often meant fighting to the absolute last man, casualty rates among machine gun crews were extraordinarily high. One remarkable story of a captured Type 99 involves a U.S. Marine who recovered an abandoned machine gun inside a Japanese pillbox on Saipan. Intrigued by its unusual design, complete with a folding monopod, a bayonet lug under the barrel, and long-range anti-aircraft sights, he disassembled the weapon, packed the parts into separate gear bags, and managed to ship it home as a war trophy. The weapon remained hidden in a family attic for decades before eventually being donated to a military history museum. Charging directly across open beaches or jungle clearings against an entrenched Type 99 nest was suicide. On islands like Iwo Jima and Okinawa, well-hidden Type 99s, interlocking their fields of fire inside concrete pillboxes, inflicted devastating losses on wave after wave of landing troops. Crews who survived these brutal, close-range defensive engagements were often traumatized by the sheer slaughter, with reports of gunners suffering severe psychological breakdowns after mowing down dozens of men at point-blank range. Beyond beach defenses, the Type 99 was deployed extensively in ambush tactics across the dense jungles of Burma and New Guinea. Guerrilla units and rearguard elements used its lightweight and rapid setup to execute devastating hit-and-run strikes against Allied supply columns before vanishing into the foliage. Captured Type 99s were highly prized by local resistance movements and Allied jungle patrols alike, who valued its reliability in mud and humid conditions. Following the war, the design of the Type 99 left a lasting legacy. Its top-mounted magazine feed, quick-change barrel, and rugged bolt mechanism influenced several post-war Asian infantry weapons. Upgraded variants chambered in standard regional cartridges continued to see action in regional conflicts for decades, proving that the engineering behind this formidable machine gun was one of the most effective infantry designs of the era.